What is going on, guys? I am so pumped because right now we are headed to England to attend the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Let's head out. We have made it to England. I'm being hosted for the second year in a row by McLaren, which I am super excited about. We have a crazy lineup of cars here at the hotel. This has got to be the fanciest Hilton I have ever seen in my entire life. A ton of epic stuff in store for today. This is legitimately, I think, my favorite car show in the world. Let's head to Goodwood Festival of Speed. A year ago to this day, I was standing right here taking a look at the 600 LT for its debut at Goodwood Festival of Speed. After an intense ride up the hill climb in the car, I decided to order one. Awesome to see a Spider here in the same spot. The spec on this thing is wild. All of the flat carbon fiber. I really like the look of the matte carbon as opposed to the gloss. This interior with the Senna seats and the green contrasted stitching, that is awesome. Now this year at Goodwood, we have the dynamic launch of the new McLaren GT. So I'm about to get suited up and go up the hill in the new Grand Tour. All suited up and ready to go up the hill climb. To give you an idea of how ridiculous this event is, we're just in this private little driver sign-on area, and alone there is a Bugatti Veyron, a McLaren F1, a Ferrari F40, and a Lamborghini Miura. Well, unfortunately, we've got a 20-minute delay on the track, but that does give us an awesome opportunity to check out some of the cars about to go up the hill climb. New M8 competition, that thing sounds absolutely ridiculous. So we're going up in the McLaren GT. Behind me, we've got the Senna GTR. Now I'm hoping that tomorrow I'm actually going up the hill in this. All right, guys, check out how ridiculous the lineup of cars about to go up the hill climb are. We've got a 488 Pista and a Wraith. Beautiful 812 super fast Singer Porsche, the new GT4. And I've never seen one of these in person before, the Monza SP2. Absolutely stunning. Look how wild that interior is. We've got the Ferrari SP3JC. That is absolutely wild. And check this thing out. Just look at the rear end of this thing. That diffuser is wild. And then behind it, FXXK Evo. Look at all that carbon fiber. Then we've got this Zenvo with one of the craziest wings in the world. It's hydraulically actuated and it actually tilts from side to side as you go around corners. Looks wild in person. Then a beautiful Koenigsegg. Surrounded by Lamborghinis as well, we've got the Huracan Evo Spider, as well as a Huracan Evo and SVJ behind that. One of the absolute stars of Goodwood is this right here, the Ford GT Mark II. So this is a track-only version of the Ford GT. They're only making 45 of them, and they're going to be $1.2 million. Ford says this is what they would have made if they had absolutely no restrictions on the road car version of the Ford GT. It makes 400% more downforce than the road car, actually more downforce than the race car, and more power as well at 700 horsepower. We've got an absolutely insane front splitter, dive planes, and then one of my favorite parts, the roof scoop. Check that out. And then we've actually got the rear diffuser off of the Le Mans car. Check out the interior. Everything has been stripped out, new seats, new steering wheel. I'm hoping that at some point somebody makes a conversion kit to make these things road legal, because it looks absolutely badass. We've got an AMG GTR Pro, the Brabham BT62, full purple carbon fiber Regera about to go up the hill. That is epic. Easily one of the most wild cars at the show, the Apollo IE. Last time I saw it, it was purple, and now it is bright blue. Looks absolutely fantastic. Hopefully they start this thing up, because it sounds like nothing else in the road. All right, it looks like it's finally time to go up the hill. At the turnaround point at the start of the hill climb, check out how gorgeous this De Tomaso is. We are here in the McLaren GT with Ollie, about to go up the hill climb. This is going to be super interesting. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen my review on the car yet, make sure to click the link in the description below to check that out. Absolutely love the way it looks. This is their more comfortable Grand Touring car, set to compete against something like the Bentley Continental GT and the DB11. So to see this vehicle in a track environment is going to be super interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It's actually, and obviously being a hill climb, it's a bit more like a sort of country lane as well.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we'll run the car in track, so it's in its sort of stiffest setting. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
You hear a lot of turbo noises.
Yeah, lots of whistling, and yeah, it's fun.
All right, here we go. About to go up the hill climb in McLaren's most comfortable car ever made. Of the hill climb now just went up in the McLaren GT. I think what makes Goodwood Festival of Speed so special is that not only is there an extraordinary display of cars at the Goodwood estate, So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the event, Goodwood Festival of Speed started in 1993. They wanted to bring motorsports to the Goodwood estate, which is now owned by Lord March. It's basically a giant manor with tons of land around it that they have a car event at. But what makes it so special is not only are there an amazing static display, but there's also the movement aspect of it as well. Getting to see cars like a P1, Apollo IE, Regeras drive at full tilt up the hill climb is something you don't get to experience anywhere else in the world. Man, the back of that Ford GT is ridiculous. Porsche is unbelievable. So look who I ran into, Seb Delaney, and you're
Hello.
about to do something ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Can you explain?
So this is the Robo Race DevBot 2.0, which I actually took up the hill this morning, which was crazy, nuts.
I'm jealous. Look at this thing.
It is absurd, and the crazy thing is, this car can run without a driver, and that's what we're going to be testing today. We'll see what happens, but effectively what should be happening is that I drive it to the main Goodwood house,
Yep.
get out, and it does the rest by itself.
Fully autonomously.
Fully autonomously, which is going to be
Oh my
absurd.
gosh.
I mean, this is their other model, which as you can see, there's nowhere for a driver. And this has already done a run up the hill, so we know it can happen. But we were just having explained to us that the trees here make it really tricky. So you need to use other sensors such as these to try and figure out where you're going in case the trees bump into the signal. But yeah, it's going to be nuts. And the
And
whole
it's all electric?
all electric. And the aim is to have like a race series of bots racing each other.
That would
This
be
is
wild.
just the
Let's
future.
look at the
It's
inside.
the future. So look inside. You got. I mean, it's like standard. It's like a Le Mans car, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it is just absurd. It's all carbon. But the thing that's funny is because it's all electric, you just have drive, neutral, reverse.
Yeah, yeah.
You just press drive and go. But it's got a lot of power, obviously. It's got torque vectoring, so if you put your foot down too much, it'll cut some of the torque, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, the fact that this is effectively like the world's most badass remote control car.
Literally.
Literally.
Well, good luck,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, we'll see what happens.
The Festival of Speed is absolutely massive, so if you are planning on coming to the event, which I highly recommend, this is honestly an event that I won't miss every single year for basically probably the rest of my life. You're gonna wanna spend at least 2 days here so that you can capture everything and really get the full experience. Right when you walk in, you're greeted with a ton of epic race cars. Then of course there's the supercar paddock, which I was over with filming with the McLaren GT. Then there's the hill climb, and then there's a ton of manufacturer tents as well with their own little layouts. Let's go through the show. Absolutely awesome Audi 90 Quattro. Check out the wheels on this. All of that for brake cooling. BMW M4 DTM car. E30 race car. That is beautiful. Mercedes C11 race car. That is cool. The variety of cars at the show is insane too. Everything from NASCARs to vintage race cars to that fully autonomous electric LMP style car. There's even old school motorcycles as well. And this is the only show in the world where you can get this close to a $20+ million Porsche 917K and then watch it go screaming up the hill climb. And look, it's not just one, but two, three of them. I think this is legitimately my favorite race car of all time. Honestly, the Festival of Speed is paradise. The mix of sounds, smells, and the atmosphere of the crowd make this event an absolute dream for car enthusiasts. Now in this area, we have the McLaren stand, and they've got two particularly exciting things I want to show you. Check this out, a full Lego model of the McLaren Senna. So it took 42 people to build this, and there's 500,000 Lego pieces. We've got the real carbon fiber Senna seat next to a Lego version. That is epic. The second highlight at the McLaren stand is the beautiful McLaren Speedtail. Just like the Senna, I wasn't a fan of the Speedtail's looks at first, but as I see it more and more in person, it is really growing on me. The proportions of this thing are absolutely absurd. It's honestly a spectacular looking car. Then in the middle of the show, we have the beautiful Goodwood Estate. Honestly, if you like architecture, the show would be cool to go to alone just for that. They also usually have a really cool architectural feature in the middle here. Last year, it was a Porsche at the top of a spire, and now I'm not quite sure what it is. Now we're gonna cross over the track and check out all the manufacturers. Check this car out, guys. So this is a 488 that's been redesigned with a carbon fiber body by 7X Designs. It's meant to look like an 80s classic Ferrari, but also mixed in with some modern flair as well. The rear kind of reminds me, with that rear wing, of an FXXK, but I actually really love the way this looks. They're limited to 30, they're $1.2 million, and it's an amazing looking car. The rear end of this car is absolutely insane. And these louvers kind of remind me of the Ferrari F40. Check out how ridiculous this thing is. Wow. Look at this thing. Cool to see the new GT500 that we just talked about in the latest news update. This thing actually ran right behind me up the hill climb. Looks badass. Another car from the news update, the insane Ultima RS. Let's check this out. This thing is badass. Look how cool the transmission is. There's that 1200 horsepower LT5. We are approaching the supercar paddock where the day started, but in order to not make this video legitimately 45 minutes long, we're gonna continue the tour of Goodwood Festival of Speed in tomorrow's video, where hopefully I'm gonna be getting a ride with Bruno Senna in the McLaren Senna GTR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.